Welcome to the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. I'm your host, Justin Holland with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. Welcome back to the show. This is a show that we're recording basically to kick off the new year. We had a recording on last week's show, so sorry about that. I think I was under the weather and we just decided to just run with another recording that we had made. But this is a new show, and we've got some pretty exciting updates and news to bring up and talk about that I think is going to resonate with the audience and help everybody kind of have a handle on what's going on with health insurance right now and how it relates to specifically the Affordable Care Act. Some updates are going to hit today, the day that I'm recording the show. It's Friday, January 9th, and this show will air over the weekend. But we had Congress basically approve an extension to the Affordable Care Act. So I'm going to talk about that here in a minute and discuss what that entails, what that looks like. I don't think we should hold our breath by any means on that, but it could be beneficial. We could be pleasantly surprised if this actually gets passed or approved in the Senate, or if it's delayed and dead on arrival. But again, I can't thank you enough for joining us here on the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. I'm Justin Holland. We've got Texas State Insurance Services here out of San Antonio and Palmetto Life Group. Just a little background so you kind of know what we're trying to bring with this show and the value we're trying to bring to the audience online, or ultimately on the radio. We wanted to make sure we provide all updates on everything insurance, and we're talking about individual insurance with the Affordable Care Act, Medicare plans for seniors, basically small group benefits plans, auto and home insurance, commercial policies, umbrella policies, long-term care, life insurance, you name it. We're trying to give some details and updates on what to consider and to take a look at and possibly know that's available to you out there in the viewing area and the listening area as well. So Texas State Insurance Services, we've got 4 locations here in San Antonio that we can visit with you at, and we've got 1 location in McAllen. Texas State Insurance Services is going to focus really on individual health insurance, Medicare plans for seniors, as well as small group benefits plans for companies. So we're very well versed, even in the large company plans. If you've got a large business and you want us to take a look and assess that, we'd be happy to do that for you. The number to reach us at Texas State Insurance Services is 210-880-5316, or you can visit us online at txstateinsurance.com. The other thing that we have is Palmetto Life Group. Palmetto Life Group is a brokerage we created that specifically focuses on the life insurance, the long-term care planning. We've recently added auto, home, and umbrella, as well as commercial policies assistance. It just made sense to bring that a part of our portfolio and offering. So hopefully you reach out to us if you need any help with those coverage plans or options. We'd be happy to take care of you there. And the number for Palmetto Life Group is 877-357-5316, or you can visit the website palmettolifegroup.com. The one thing that I try to bring up on every show too is letting you know that we do have a YouTube channel, and we're trying to grow that channel. So I'd love for you to go to youtube.com it's youtube.com/@ Mad Insurance Show. If you can go to that, like us, follow us online, that would be greatly appreciated. We're uploading our weekly videos to that. We're going to start adding up snippets and excerpts from the key points and topics that we're bringing up on the insurance show as well. And just make sure you follow us on the Mad Insurance Show on YouTube as well. And we'd love to have you follow us. And I'm hopefully going to have some pretty solid guests join me here in the rest of January on each weekly show, as well as going into the coming months. So got a lot of things that we want to bring to the viewing audience and the listening audience from actually the carriers themselves and other professionals that can provide some value to everybody with this show. So that was a long introduction, but I think it's important for you to know why we have the show and what we're doing to try to help everybody out there. So let's discuss the Affordable Care Act extension. So there's breaking news that came through last night, and we're following it today. Actually, I mean, even as I'm taping the show, we are we are trying to see if there could be light at the end of the tunnel on an Affordable Care Act extension. If the subsidies do expire, like what they've already expired, if they continue with that without a replacement, you're looking at many middle income families feeling squeezed from the premiums. Okay, and we this is the first time in a long time, probably in the past 12 years, that we have been helping out individuals with individual health insurance, where we've got clients saying, "Hey, we're just going to go without coverage." We can't afford the health insurance. We've looked at alternative coverage options, which we have, by the way. So if you have very expensive insurance, let us know. Give us a call because we can provide you with some alternatives. If you're healthy, those alternatives typically are only going to help you out if you don't have a chronic or terminal condition. You're not taking a bunch of medications, and you're relatively healthy, or your family is. The The health coverage options that we've got, we're still learning a few of the new ones. We're real excited about one in particular that we've been helping people enroll with, and it's something that we can help out year round. So if somebody missed the January 15th open enrollment deadline that's coming up, basically, this is a good information to know. January 15th is the last day that you can make a change to your Affordable Care Act plan, your individual health insurance for the rest of the year, or actually get enrolled. Maybe you don't have health insurance and you're like, "Hey, Justin, I don't have anything in place. Can you help me get enrolled into a plan so I've got protection and I'm covered throughout the year?" Yeah, we can. It's just you're going to need to knock that out by January 15th. So you're going to want to reach out to us if you're listening to the show or watching this video pretty quickly. And again, you can visit us at txstateinsurance.com or give us a call at 210-880-5316. We're pretty stacked with appointments through the 15th, but we'll fit you in and try to help you and expedite a plan change or an enrollment in a new plan for you as well. But back to the subsidy debate on what's hitting the middle class America if these expanded subsidies don't go into play is making sure you're looking at alternative options. Make sure you're dealing with a broker that's well versed on the Affordable Care Act plans. They're well versed on group insurance plans as well as the health coverage plans, which could be short term medical plans or even those sharing plans, ministry plans that you see out there, because you're going to want to look at all options. I don't recommend going without insurance. If you can afford it, I would say keep the individual plans that you have in place. A lot of my clients are doing that just as long as they can, and with the anticipation or being optimistic that something will be extended or some solutions will get to the table to help this millions and millions of people that are being affected by these astronomical costs on just the health insurance premiums alone. We're just talking about premiums for the consumer to have their health insurance. We're not even talking about the copays, the co-insurance exposure, the catastrophic maximum limits that you could be susceptible to. It's not just, the premium, which, health insurance is typically premium driven, but that's just one um, basically situation or segment of the health insurance scenario. You got your premium, and you've got co-insurance and copays. You got your deductibles that need to be met in some cases for these plans, or some plans that don't have deductibles. And then you've got catastrophic out-of-pocket maximum limits. So we'd love to talk to you about that in detail and see how that relates specifically to your family, and and how you would like to possibly entertain coverage or shop the options for yourself or your family or your valued employees. So, as far as the subsidy debate, I just don't know how that's going to play out. We're going to hopefully have an update on that later today, and we'll have an idea of where that stands soon on the affordability possibly getting offset. Now, even if let's say they do extend these extended subsidies, I don't know how quickly that'll take place, what the special enrollment period would look like if they were able to do that. I'm hoping that they do an extension, but we're not anticipating one. The fact that they did not do anything prior to January 31st, when everything expired, it doesn't look good. But we could be pleasantly surprised. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and let's see what happens with the subsidy extension. Something that I also wanted to bring up that I think was important, and I might come back to the subsidy debate here in a minute, is the ACA subsidy cliff and tax bill concerns. Okay. One of the biggest issues that we're right now is being called the ACA subsidy cliff. For the last few years, many families have benefited and enhanced premium tax credits. Those credits made health insurance more affordable for everybody. Okay. That's where those enhanced tax credits really came into play. But here's what matters on that: a small increase in income, sometimes just a few dollars, can tilt you off of a cliff. You can make not enough money to qualify for affordable insurance, believe it or not, or you can make too much money and not qualify for affordable health insurance moving forward. So that can cause someone to lose thousands of dollars in subsidies and really create some exposure. And we're seeing that now because of the credits not being extended. Now, when we look at not just the monthly premiums, a lot of times individuals were qualifying with what's called cost sharing. They could actually not only get help to have a lower premium, but they were also qualifying for a lower deductible amount, a lower maximum limit, maybe even some lower copays. And those came into play as well. But what's going to happen is if lawmakers don't act, millions could see their premiums skyrocket from the subsidies not getting extended. Actually, we're not going to see them skyrocket. We've already seen them skyrocket for the January 1st effective plans that we are helping people enroll in. So I've seen everything from a $200 a month monthly health insurance premium go to $1,200, for a single individual. And I've also seen the family coverage go from let's say an $1,600 premium to almost $4,000. Okay. So big significant change there that's affecting a lot of individuals. We've got some clients that don't have a choice. They're just having to try to figure out how to pay those premiums. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, we've got those clients that are just going without health insurance and basically self-insuring and risking, having a serious medical emergency and having those costs uh, come onto them and affect them and their family. So, just an update. You're listening to the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. I'm your host, Justin Holland, with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. We're discussing today really health insurance because it's just a key topic on what's going on in the news cycle this week for the past few months, but specifically today because we're kind of waiting, not kind of waiting, we're waiting to see if the expanded tax credits are extended. The number to reach us at Texas State Insurance Services is going to be 210-880-5316, or visit us online at txstateinsurance.com. Or you can go to Palmetto Life Group and visit us at the Palmetto Life Group website at palmettolifegroup.com, 877-357-5316. Remember, Texas State Insurance Services just focus on health insurance, individual health insurance plans, travel insurance, dental vision, Medicare plans for seniors, and also employee benefits for those individuals that have a small company or want to help take care of their valued employees. We'd be happy to take a look at how we can help out your small business plan or your small business employee benefits options going into the new year. And Palmetto Life Group is going to focus more on the life insurance, long-term care planning, as well as the auto, home, and commercial, as well as umbrella policies. So we'd love to take a look and see how we can help you there. Um, Back to the ACA subsidies. I haven't seen anything in the news hit since I checked it this morning. It's literally probably on the Senate floor, and we're waiting to see if anything's going to change. But hopefully by next week, on next week's show, we'll be able to provide an update and give you an idea on what we think is going to happen. Or if nothing happens, what your alternatives are going to be. And a lot of times that's health coverage or possibly having to create a small group business plan. If you absolutely have to have a PPO network, that's typically the best solution there on what we can see. Um, Something that I think we'll talk about right now is employee health insurance trends. This was a topic that I wanted to bring up after taking a look at a article that I recently read from United Healthcare, and employers are dealing with rising premiums. We saw some of the craziest premium increases we've ever seen on employer sponsored health insurance plans. And we're noticing higher claim costs. We're seeing specialty drug expenses and really workforce changes that's changing the dynamic in the landscape of the group insurance plans that we're seeing for companies. What is this going to mean? What is this going to mean for the employees? Ultimately, we're going to see, companies have to reevaluate their plan design, possibly switch carriers. We had to do that for a handful of clients this fall for January 1 renewals and current renewals right now. But there's having to we're having to make some changes. Some companies are in better shape than others on the premiums and the plans that they have access to offer their employees, contribution strategies, long term benefits, sustainability. The Affordable Care Act was, with these expanded subsidies, a good solution for alternative coverage for the family members. A lot of times it's just too expensive for an employee to be on a health insurance plan with their company, despite the best efforts of the company trying to subsidize and keep those premiums low. It can be a struggle. So, in most cases, what we see is we help the employee get on the company plan, and a lot of times the spouse, the children, one or the other, or both, we get on an individual marketplace plan. Now, that has been the case for the past probably 2.5 years now, but with these changes of these subsidies going away, um, I some of the affordability is going away for this alternative. So it's sad to see this. We've got some employees that are just going to go without health insurance because, like, hey, if I can't get my family on a solution on an individual plan, or it's too expensive to put them or add them to my company plan, a lot of these employees will just go without coverage, and they will basically expose themselves to a serious medical emergency for their family members and their friends. So another item that we wanted to bring up on the show is the repayment rules for the Affordable Care Act plans for their tax credits. So when you have an individual marketplace plan and you've got maybe you're qualifying for a tax credit or a lower cost premium, and it's going to be driven by the income that was submitted in that application. Okay. So if you put in an income, or your agent put in, a lot of agents will just put in random incomes. We see that a lot, but it's very important for our client to give us an idea of what their anticipated income, like for this year of 2026. People will tell us, hey, Justin, I made so and so this amount of money in 2025. That's great. We can use that as a kind of a benchmark or an estimate, but we're focused on what you're going to earn in 2026. And I've got clients that are self-employed and like, well, I have no idea. I don't know what it's going to look like. Well, we need an estimate, that we can be accurate on. Because if you put too low of an income, there's a good chance that you're going to owe the worst person you want to owe money to, which is the IRS, when they reconcile your tax statements and say, hey, listen, we help front your health insurance cost more than we should have. You owe that money back. Okay. And what's happening is a lot of they had caps and limits on what you could owe back possibly. And with the new legislation, not new legislation, but some of the things that are expiring with the Affordable Care Act, uh, beginning in 2026, there's no cap on the estimated tax repayment. So what that means is, individuals were typically capped and maybe they only owed a few $100s back or a few $1,000s back. This could be thousands and thousands of dollars owed back. So you want to make sure you are absolutely accurate on your income. I've got a lot of clients that I just say, "Hey, listen, reach out to us every quarter and let's take an assessment and see if we need to adjust your income in the application to possibly raise or lower your monthly premiums." And most self-employed small business owners, they can get a handle on what they've had come in and what they can consider income or adjusted gross income for the year. And we try to recommend, hey, take a look at that every quarter. Let us know where you're at. That way you're not put in a spot, especially this year, that going into the 2026 new year with health insurance plans, that you don't owe back a ton of money because there's no cap on that reimbursement or repayment of the tax credit that you might have received that might have been too much in the first place. So if you receive the advanced tax credits and you're ultimately eligible, you may ineligible, you may have to repay the difference for that. And um, as long as you file your taxes and you're staying on top of that, it shouldn't be an issue. But they're really cracking down on that. I can see that becoming a big issue for a lot of people that are just not staying on top of what their premium tax credit is and their income. So keep an eye on that, because I really don't want to see consumers get hurt with that, although we've seen it be a problem in the past. And I think because of the cap going away, that's a major change that's going to affect a lot of people with their health insurance. So you're listening to the Mad Insurance Show, Making a Difference in Insurance. I'm your host, Justin Holland, with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. We are discussing the Affordable Care Act. We're discussing the current situation legislatively that is going on with Congress on approving. The House passed the ACA subsidy extensions, and basically in a dramatic vote that helped, kind of give a black eye for the right leaning side of the legislators because they just weren't doing anything about it. And listen, my take on this is health insurance is broken right now. We need to fix it. There needs to be some solutions brought to the table with some smart people and industry professionals that are really, honed in on what we're seeing out there. But just nothing's been brought to the table. So because there's no alternative or solution, despite how lousy you think the current extensions were on those subsidies, they were helping millions and millions of middle class Americans have a shot at affordable insurance. We just went through years of inflation. You've got high insurance costs that are going to hit you on top of that. People needed some relief, and I'm hoping that the Senate will possibly consider this and pass it. If they do that, it's a big win. Okay, they're going to basically going to patch up the situation, and they're going to help out millions of people with affordable insurance, at least for this year and the coming years, while we figure out a solution. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to take years to come up with a solution if they don't have anything already. And it's not just about sending money, directly to the consumer for their health insurance instead of the insurance companies. We need to take a look at maybe multiple alternatives and solutions that individuals can take advantage of, families, small business companies, as well as the Medicare plans that we help with millions and millions of seniors. So I'm optimistic. I'm an optimist. I'm hoping we can see some good changes in health insurance, but right now it's tough. We're having some struggles here on seeing if we can get an affordable solution for the consumer. And listen, let's see how it plays out. I'm anxious about recording next week's show here online so we can see what happened if they were able to get this across the finish line and help people out with affordable health insurance options. So something that I brought up on one of the last week's show a few weeks ago was a healthcare alternative that we are launching or having access to here in Texas to bring to the consumers. It's basically a high level, designed for affordability and flexibility. It's not an Affordable Care Act or major medical plan. It's basically going to help you if you get sick, or if there's an accident. Okay, and you've got reasonable deductibles, or maximum limits. It basically there's no deductibles. It's actually just maximum limits on these plans, and it's become a solution that we're actually as a breath of fresh air for us as an agent broker to be able to provide that for our clients here in the San Antonio and South Texas markets and around the state of Texas. It was approved by the Texas Department of Insurance. It's not health insurance. It's considered a coverage option because of the way the benefits are. But ultimately, it comes in bundles of sickness policies, accident policies, and then you can even add a wellness policy. Before recording the show this morning, I was talking to an individual. Um, Scenario that I brought up just a minute ago is you've got a employee of a company. We just rolled out their benefits renewal in South Texas. It's a trucking operation down there, and some of the employees are like, Justin, I can't afford this for my spouse or children. Or they're making a tough decision. Hey, I can put my children on here, but my spouse, it's just not going to be affordable. This health coverage alternative that we brought to them is was being well received. They like the fact that we could add a wellness benefit on top of there, and then it's going to cover in sickness and accident. Now, granted, there's underwriting questions. They necessarily can't have the pre-existing conditions are going to apply on this, but the premium instead of being $1,000 was going to be a couple $100, and that's reasonable. That's affordable. That's doable for most individuals that want to have a health coverage or health insurance plan in place to protect them. So just know that we've got a new alternative that we're real excited about. It's being well received by our clients, and it's providing a national provider network. It's flexible out of pocket maximums. Includes pharmacy benefits. It actually includes maternity care, year one, emergency services, additional coverage scenarios are going to be, with optional benefits or a fixed indemnity payment plan on that. Policies are not provided by a major medical insurance company. So that's the caveat there. But it's a great alternative that we'd like to visit with you on. And we can get you a quote on that and get you coverage as soon as February if you need it. There's no deadline on this coverage other than the 20th of the month to get an effective date of the first of the following month. So unless you've got a special election period for Affordable Care Act coverage, after the 15th of January, I'm this is really going to be the only option that I can help offer those that would qualify and not have to worry about the underwriting questions because they're healthy. That 15th deadline is going to catch a lot of people sleeping, I think, this year. Um, Most agent brokers for the past few years in the past administration, they were really flexible and provided special enrollment opportunities for everybody that might not have had insurance. And those days are over. That's gone. So if you don't enroll in your Affordable Care Act plan, then you're going to miss the opportunity to have that for the rest of the year, unless you lost a company sponsored plan in most cases, or you were on a spouse's coverage plan. Maybe Cobra ran out. You've got some scenarios there that will allow you to get in it. But if you don't have anything in place, please reach out to us and make sure you get dialed in with a health insurance solution for by January 15th for a February 1st effective date. And again, we've got the Affordable Care Act options. We've got group benefit plans options for those individuals that want that true PPO network. And then we're going to be here to help out with seniors as well for any special enrollments on their Medicare plans that they need. You're visiting to the Mad Insurance. You're listening to the Mad Insurance Show. I'm your host, Justin Holland, with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. The Mad Insurance Show stands for Making a Difference in Insurance. We're so happy you're joining us today, and we're welcome to be back. We've been talking about some of the upcoming news that's hit the news waves, or basically the online headlines so to speak, of the Affordable Care Act, and we'll see how that plays out into the next year. But this episode today was just really talking about the upcoming deadline that we've got for individual health insurance, reminding everybody of that of January 15th at midnight to make sure you can get an effective date of February 1st, but also talking about some alternative solutions that you've got. I will tell you, um, longtime clients, 10 plus years opting out of health insurance because it was too expensive was tough to watch and tough to deal with this past fourth quarter where we were trying to help individuals out with their affordable insurance options. These are clients we've had for years, and some of them are just going to go without insurance, and it's heartbreaking because some of them need this insurance. It's covering medications that they need. It's covering doctor visits, a chronic or terminal condition they might have. So it's been a tough fourth quarter during this time of year when it's you got a lot going on over the fourth quarter going into the new year with the Affordable Care Act, deadlines that are coming up for individual health insurance. You got Medicare deadlines that were going on as well for people to change their Medicare plans. And this time of year, also a lot of group plans have January 1 effectives, and October, November, December, they were rolling out their renewals for January 1. And some of those employees had to make some tough decisions, not knowing if the extended tax credits were going to be going through into 2026 or not. So, absolutely seeing a ton of disruption out there. We're hoping we can see some light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, with what we're dealing with. And the main things that I wanted to bring up were were the deadlines and what we've been seeing and the exposure we're seeing. Something that I wanted to bring up too, and I'm hoping to see if we can have some of our local leadership join the conversation here on the show in the coming weeks and months. You've got District 20 here in the San Antonio area with Joaquin Castro. Would love to visit with him and see what we can do to discuss the health insurance options out there, the solutions that might need to come to the table on both sides of the aisle, really, digging their heels into this because it's affecting a lot of their constituents. Chip Roy in District 21 had the pleasure of meeting Chip Roy years ago in Washington at his office there. We were doing a Capitol Hill visit, and that was an eye opener. That was pretty fun. Might do that again this year or the following year. But Chip Roy, I will tell you, when I went to his website, he actually had, you know, something to attack the health insurance situation that we've got going on right now with affordable health insurance. He was one of the few legislators or congressmen that I was impressed. They're actually trying to be proactive. Now he's going for a state position now, but he was a big advocate on trying to make sure affordable health insurance is available to his constituents, and unfortunately, it was not successful in the plans that he was wanting to bring to the table. That could come back into play as they try to figure out some alternatives going forward, though. District 23, Tony Gonzalez. That's actually my district. I'm hopefully going to be able to visit with Tony and talk to him about what we're seeing with his constituents in his area and the market that's being affected in the health insurance affordability for everybody that lives in his area and that he manages with his seat. Henry Cuellar, District 28. We've got quite a few clients down in the Laredo area. I'm hopefully going to be able to visit with Henry and see his take on that, whether it's in person with District 23 and how he feels that or sees the solution being for affordable health insurance and trying to get a handle on getting these costs down lower for the consumer. There's District 35, Greg Cassar, and I have not met Greg. But I want to reach out to him as well because he's in the local area here that we service for so many people with health insurance and would like to get his take. I saw an article on his website. It looks like it was just a kind of a press release based on the extension of the subsidies or trying to get the extension of the subsidies. But I'd love to visit with the accountability and the call to action with our legislature. So hopefully they'll see this video and be able to want to reach out to us and be a part of the show and just be out there with the consumer and let them know what they think a solution could be, what they're possibly working on, because this is a really important issue that's affecting millions and millions of people with their affordable health insurance. Hey everyone, Justin Holland here with the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. I'm your host, Justin Holland, with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. We're so glad you're here listening to the show. We've been yapping about health insurance and kind of be an eventing session for me on some of the challenges that we're having with our consumers and trying to provide some alternative options for affordable health insurance. Something that I would like to bring up is gonna be, life insurance, with living benefits. I think that is, really overlooked for most individuals as far as having a life insurance policy that takes care of you, God forbid there's an untimely death, but there's also living benefits. And a lot of times these living benefits are really closely related to a long-term care situation. If you've got a chronic condition, a critical illness, a terminal illness, and those living benefits can provide some exceptional protection and make sure you've got a coverage plan or a life insurance policy that covers you without needing to die, so to speak. Okay, a lot of times, if you have a life insurance policy, God forbid there's an untimely death, a death benefit goes to the family and really helps out and offsets the health insurance. I'm sorry, the costs of final arrangements and the basically, getting us in the dirt, covering any debt that could be outstanding or money to take care of an outstanding mortgage. When you lose somebody in a family to an untimely death, it can be a gut check. Okay, it can derail a complete family if somebody's providing for the family and that income source goes away. So you've got rent, you got car payments, you got college tuition that you got to worry about for kids. You got daycare costs. Man, there's so many scenarios that life insurance takes care of, but I think we miss the fact that there's living benefits because listen, we are living longer lives. We're just not living healthier lives, and we need to make sure we've got living benefits to be able to cover ourselves or help out with the scenario that could come up if you come down with a long-term care condition. And that long-term care might not be in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, or even 80s. It could be sooner. Okay. Long-term care could be needed a lot sooner. We're seeing levels of Alzheimer's and dementia come in a little bit earlier than we've seen in the past. And that is a living benefit as well on the Alzheimer's coverage for some of the carriers. So if you've had to deal with that with a family member, it's important for you to know that there are some solutions to be able to protect yourself. God forbid you're inflicted with that or a loved one that could have been protected years in advance and have something in place before it's too late to have something in place or approved. Something that I also wanted to bring up on the show was Medicare. And there was a lot of individuals that missed the opportunity to switch their Medicare plans, okay? And some of them are realizing they probably should have shopped the plans or made some changes and options there. Reach out to us or reach out to your broker and just say, "Hey, listen, is there any alternative that I could possibly take advantage of that I might should have done prior to the annual enrollment period?" There could be some solutions for you. Maybe you have a chronic condition or dual eligibility with Medicaid. Um, I saw a lot of individuals. We got quite a bit of calls from people that missed their opportunity to make an update for annual enrollment, or they're realizing that they lost a plan. reach out to us at Texas State Insurance Services, 210-880-5316, or visit us online at txstateinsurance.com so we can take a look and see if you might qualify for an opportunity to switch a plan. Because some people were losing benefits, some people were absolutely losing their plans. And for whatever reason, they just didn't get the notice on that. I had one of those calls over the weekend or a few days ago, and they're like, "Hey, Justin, I know you were reaching out to me. I didn't reach out to you. It looks like my plan went away." And we're like, "Yeah, we did everything we could to try to get your attention and help you with that. And now we're scrambling trying to help them. And I think we've got a solution and a way to help them with that. But a lot of people are missing the opportunity to update their insurance or make a plan change, and you don't want to wait too long. That's why when I kicked off the show, we really honed in on the January 15th deadline for the Affordable Care Act. That is the last day that you can either make a change to your individual health insurance plan or get onto and enroll into an individual health insurance plan. Because as it looks like right now, we're just not seeing any movement on the ACA subsidies being extended or any extension for the Affordable Care Act after the 15th. So make sure that you are visiting with an agent. You can talk to us here at Texas State Insurance Services about your individual health insurance options. That number again is 210-880-5316, or you can visit us online at txstateinsurance.com and fill out our contact form, and we'd love to help you out with that. Something that I also wanted to bring up in the show is because we're done with the enrollment season, we are going to be bringing back our health insurance workshops. Okay. And these workshops, I was going to try to do them weekly. I think we're just going to do them monthly. I'm holding these actually at large companies here in town as well. We're helping out quite a few HR departments, municipalities, where we can help educate the valued employees on Medicare scenarios, either for them or for the employee or for the spouses that could be aging into Medicare. We're also able to help them look at Social Security. Believe it or not, Social Security is where you start for Medicare. Okay, that has to be enrolled through the Social Security website for that. Now, you might hold off on taking your Social Security distribution, which I recommend for most cases. However, the they coincide with their enrollments, and it can be confusing. I can tell you right now, the Social Security office is really struggling right now. They're shorthanded. They went through the silver tsunami that I think is kind of bleeding into the new year of 2026. I probably call the local Social Security offices with my clients 3 to 5 times a week. Okay, not for, we've had to do multiple calls for some of our clients, but if your agent like ourselves are going to take the time to help you get engaged, I've got direct line phone numbers into the Social Security offices. Do not delay. Make sure you take advantage of our workshops to visit about, and it's not just Medicare. We talk about affordable health insurance and coverage options as well. I try to be as robust and reach every segment of the industry in our visits when we do these luncheons, and that goes for the employee benefit, plans that we help take a look at to where individual coverage or Medicare can come into play. But we would love to visit with you. Let us know if you'd like to join us for one of the workshops. If you've got a company that you would like to have us have a workshop in to go over Medicare, go over Social Security benefits, affordable alternative coverage options for the employee spouses and children, we'd love to visit with you. You see a lot of complications with Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare, affordable insurance. It can be exhausting. And when we visit in our luncheons or these workshops, or if we go to these companies and municipalities and help out the employees, it's been very well received. And they like our style. We're not salesy. We're not trying to sit there and do anything but educate and say, hey, this is what you got possibly. These are the options and alternatives that you have for yourself or your loved ones that we can access. So if you're interested in joining us at the workshop or talking more about that, give us a call at Texas State Insurance Services, 210-880-5316. 5316, or visit us online on our website, txstateinsurance.com, and you can ultimately just schedule a time and you're going to visit with me. Just so you know, I handhold or have my hand on every single client and application that we take care of. Was in the office with the ladies. This is probably last month, and that I've got a team that helps me on the individual side, and we were looking at a spreadsheet of all the individuals that I've been talking to, and it was hundreds and hundreds of individuals. And I was giving myself a hard time. I was like, man, no wonder I can't remember every conversation. And by the way, we're taking good notes. We've got some great AI tools that are helping us with that because it's a blessing. We got a lot of people referring us to their family members, friends, or colleagues because we've taken good care of people. We care, and we want to get down in the trenches. We want to find solutions for them. We want to earn the business. We want to earn those referrals. So just know that I've got my eyes on every single client that comes through our doors, whether it be Texas State Insurance Services for individual health insurance, for Medicare plans for seniors, small group benefits plans as well, or just helping with educational workshops for your valued employees on your small, medium, and large companies that you guys might manage. Palmetto Life Group, I've got a hand on every single life insurance policy, long term care plan that we help out with, even some retirement plans and options. We're real excited to launch the fact that we can help out with auto, home, and umbrella, as well as commercial policies. So you can reach out to us at Palmetto Life Group for those scenarios as well. And that number for Palmetto Life Group is 877 357 5316, or visit us online at palmettolifegroup.com. I had mentioned this earlier in the show that we've got a YouTube channel. I think it bears repeating. I want to bring it up again here for another shameless plug on our YouTube channel for the Mad Insurance Show, Making a Difference in Insurance. So you can go to youtube.com/ at symbol Mad Insurance Show. Please take a look at the site. I've got videos that we've been taking care of, or we've uploaded to the portal. I've actually got a few more episodes that I've got to add onto the channel, and we're going to try to get plenty of snippets and you know um, short clips from some key information that we've shared over the past few months with the show. But please go to our YouTube channel, like us and follow us, and get that little bell rung or that little tab so you can be updated when we've got updates that are going out there. We're trying to grow that subscriber base. I think it's important for us, and we're excited. It took a little while to get that show up and online with YouTube. And it's a full time job, just trying to do the radio show, doing social media. I'm sure I that resonates with some people out there listening to the show. It's exhausting, just trying to make sure we're staying relevant online. So we're so thankful that we've got the Mad Insurance Show here on KTSA, and it gets distributed online with our YouTube show, as well as to all the valued listeners that listen online or on the local radio station here. So, been a local KTSA listener for years, and it's been really fun. And I'm hoping we're providing some good value. We're getting some great phone calls and feedback from those that are listening to the show. They might not be able to listen to the entire show, but they just get a couple snippets and say, "Hey, listen, we're glad that you're out there, that you exist, and we want to see if you might be able to help us out." So it's been very well received, and we're so honored to be able to have the Mad Insurance Show to make a difference in insurance and help out quite a few people with affordable insurance options, providing them peace of mind and some real solutions and savings as well. So it's gone a long way. So I'm going to double check the news cycle right now and see if there's been any updates on the Affordable Care Act extension. I've only got about an hour with everybody, but a lot can happen in the news cycle within an hour. So I'm going to basically sit here on the browser, and no, it's just everything from yesterday on the House passes ACA extension bill, hoping to support a bipartisan compromise in the Senate. So I am again hopeful that when we have next week's show that we'll be able to say, hey, you know what? We're pleasantly surprised. Senate passed this. They realized that it's affecting a lot more people, and that we needed to have a solution temporarily to extend this to help out people with affordable health insurance with what they're facing. So let's see how that plays out into next week or in the coming weeks if they've got to put together another plan. I'm not going to hold my breath, but let's see what happens. Just to recap the show, we've talked about the Affordable Care Act legislation that we're trying to see if the subsidies get extended. Talked about that a lot. I brought up the fact that there's ACA subsidy cliffs, tax bill concerns for those individuals out there that are on an Affordable Care Act insurance plan. You want to make sure that if you're on an individual health insurance plan with the marketplace, that your income is accurate. You certainly don't want to get popped going into the year of 2027 when you file your tax return. And the IRS says, "Hey, we fronted you so much money for your tax credit, you're going to owe that money back." That's important. I mean, that fact that that cap is going away, I'm going to tell you right now, we're probably going to see people that are going to get to have to owe thousands back to the IRS, which is the worst person you want to owe money to as far as a subsidy or plan. So we talked about that subsidy cliff. We talked about the breaking news is the subsidy debate. Hopefully, we'll have better news on that. We talked about some of the healthcare trends that we're seeing with group health insurance plans out there. The fact that these employers are dealing with extremely high premiums and renewals for their health insurance plans for their valued employees. We saw increases. I mean, let's just say I can count less than five, on my hand of the amount of group clients that we had with single digit increases or no increases. Okay. It was very rare. Everybody had double digit increases. We saw them range from 50 to 60 plus percent. We even saw them get into 100 plus percent increases for the employee benefits plan. So if you faced that and you didn't like the solution that was brought to the table on your affordable insurance or options for your employee benefits plan, let us know. We might have some solutions. Actually, I know we have some solutions to be able to help bring to the table to your valued employees. And we just got to sit down and talk and see and size up what employee benefits you have in place. Maybe you've got a small business and you don't have anything in place now, and you're wanting to offer employee benefits. Give us a call at Texas State Insurance Services. You can reach us at 210-880-5316, or visit us online at txstateinsurance.com. Again, as a reminder, we're going to help out with Texas State Insurance Services on individual health insurance, alternative coverage for more affordable options as well, Medicare plans for seniors, as well as employee benefits. Um, Palmetto Life Group is going to help you out with individual life insurance, long term care plans and options, even retirement rollovers that we can help you out with. Just had a lady call into us a few days ago, and she is retiring. She's wanting to roll over her 401k funds, and we're looking at some solutions for her off of that. If you're looking to offer a 401k plan, for your employees or possibly make a switch of what you have in place as well, call us at Palmetto Life Group. We'd love to help out with that. And then another thing to keep in mind is the auto, home, and umbrella policies, as well as commercial that we can quote for you. That number is 877-357-5316, or visit us at palmettolifegroup.com. Everybody, I can't thank you enough for visiting with us here and listening to me on the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. Again, my name is Justin Holland. I'm with Texas State Insurance Services and Palmetto Life Group. We've discussed quite a few things today regarding health insurance and life insurance and employee benefits. Hopefully that resonated, provided a little bit of value. If we confused you or you have some more questions, please give us a call at our office line number, 210-880-5316. Remember, we're going to kick off our monthly workshops, health insurance workshops, to discuss Social Security, Medicare plans for those that are aging into Medicare and not necessarily need Social Security yet, individual health insurance alternatives, as well as talking about a number of things that you need to be addressing for affordable insurance. So those workshops we'll have posted online, or just call us or visit the website. We'd love to help you out with that. Again, Justin Holland, the Mad Insurance Show, making a difference in insurance. Give us a call at 210-880-5316 if you've got any questions. And everybody have a great weekend. And hopefully we'll have some good news on some legislation going into next week's show, and possibly even a special guest. Thanks, and talk to you soon, everybody. Take care.